All right, everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew, episode 1120. Well, that's right, 1120 episodes we've been doing this. And I just want to say happy Juneteenth to everybody. It is Juneteenth, so if you don't know, you should know. It is a holiday in my book. It is, and that's how I see it. So happy holiday, happy Juneteenth to everyone. And also want to say welcome everybody to this Studying Brew because it is the Series 6. We're going to go through 6 different exams. We're going to have 6 different questions. We're going to have test taking techniques. We're going to have content. We're going to give you the keys to success so you can pass a dang exam. And because that's all we talk about is passing exams. Because why? Because that's all you got to do. You just got to pass an exam. That's it. You just got to pass an exam. That's all. And my name is Andy. I'm the guy that answers the phone calls, the text messages, the emails, KonaButterflyz@gmail.com. So if you want to go ahead and drop me a line, go ahead and do that. But it is not Brandy, it is me. But speaking of Brandy, that's why you guys are all here, because she's got her Series 6, 63, 26, Series 65, and her Series 7, which makes her more than qualified to teach you all the things you need to know so that way you too could get a pass notice. And we welcome all of you because you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here. We are all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast, or as Brandy likes to call it, the Mid Coast, all the way up there, but it's the Midwest. So we got all the coasts and then all in the middle, all represented. We got Hawaii, Alaska, all on the call. So welcome everybody across the nation. We are nationwide, and we always just talk about passing exams and that positive mental attitude. Y'all, listen, we got a weekend coming up. I know we're starting off the weekend, right? Like some of you already started the weekend off because it's Juneteenth, right? You guys are already taking your days off because you're like, why not? And some people already had the day off. So, but what I'm going to tell you is it doesn't matter what days off from work, your 9 to 5 maybe, or your school, you are working on your business. You are working on yourself. You don't take days off from yourself. You don't have holidays for yourself. You got to develop yourself. You got to work on yourself. You got to constantly be selfish about yourself. You got to make sure you eat the right things. You got to make sure you're not drinking the wrong things, right? You hear me? I know, I know, I know, I know. That's the tough part sometimes because you know, Andy, they just get stressful. These times be stressful, and there is a lot of good things to drink to help me out with that. I know, I get it. But you got to constantly pour goodness into yourself and into your body and into your mind and into your soul. And it doesn't matter what's going on around you. It doesn't matter if the whole world burns around you. You got to have faith. You got to have positive mental attitude and you got to hold it together because one of you or all of you is the central nervous system of your entire ecosystem, which is your family. You guys got to hold it together. You guys got to keep it together because people looking up to you. And that is why you're getting these licenses because you are that person. You are the person that's working to make sure that your family's taken care of. You're the reason why your grandbabies, why your aunties, your uncles, your grandma, your grandpa, your mom, your dad, your sisters, your siblings, your brothers, right? Brothers are related and not. They're going to be taken care of. It's your family, it's your community, it's how you make things better. And we do it step by step by being just good people, holding it together, doing good things, and having a good positive mental attitude and some good faith. And how does this relate to me studying, Andy? How does this all this relate to me studying at all? And how does this relate to me passing an exam? Let me tell you guys, you cannot do a dang thing if you do not have your mental and you do not have that positive wherewithal. You can't. You just and you know there's a person in your circle, or maybe you know of the person. Constantly, everything negative happens to them, and they're constantly proverbially everything's always going wrong. Everything's like everything is always wrong, and they always got a whole story of why their whole life is not going right, and everybody's doing them wrong, and all the blah 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 blah. Have you ever noticed when you talk to them, these are all choices. This is a negative aspect they constantly have around them all the time. They are a magnet of negativity. And guess what they attract? Nothing but negative results. And they're just attracting negative results hoping for a positive. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Why do I always have the wrong partners? Why do I always attract the wrong people? Why do I always have the wrong people around me? Because you are that person. I hate to say it like that, but it's true. If you change the way you want to the people that you want hanging around you, if you become the person that you want, guess what? You're going to attract the same type of person because where you go is where they go because it's the same type of people that are in that kind of circle that you want to be in. It's just going to be that way. And just the positive, bless you, just positivity just attracts more positivity. It's just the way it works. It's the law of attraction. There's many things about it. There's the secret. There's all this stuff, right? People fail these exams on the way to the exam more than they fail in the exam room itself because of the way they feel about themselves, the negativity, the way their whole confidence level feels about it, how their third grade teacher and they bring it up like told me I was going to be a no good test taker when you were 8 years old and you're still holding on to it and you're 38. 30 years you've been hanging on to this false truth. It's time to let it go. It's time to let it go. You're a new person. But you know what? This weekend, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to happen positive, negative, whatever, distractions. And I always say this on a Thursday you need to lock in. You need to get your quizzes done. You need to make them happen early. You need to get your studying done early. And you need to set yourself straight with a great mindset, a positive attitude, maybe even a cold shower and a workout. And make sure every day you're on that path to accomplish these goals by making sure you eat right, drink right, all the things that you need to do 100% all the time, 100% for you all the day, every day. You first, pay you first, and then you can give to others. And let me tell you guys, when you do that, you'll feel that you'll notice that you accomplish a lot more. You'll feel that you can get the studying done because most people don't accomplish this goal and one of the reasons or excuses, I should say, that they constantly tell us that's the excuse and the reason why they don't get this thing done and why they've been struggling to get this thing done, why they haven't been studying, why they haven't taken the exam, why they haven't put the effort out is because I don't have time. You have plenty of time. It's where you spend the time is the difference, right? Some people sleep it away. Some people do a lot of things away with that time, right? A lot of time that they just waste away, right? Am I the only one that like when you hear sleep? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys are all hip hop fans, but I was thinking Nas, New York State of Mind. Sleep is the enemy of death or the cousin of death. Sleep is the cousin of death. I always think of that all the time. There's a lot of truth in that. Sleep is the cousin of death. Guys, you can't be sleeping on it. It's a death to your goals. It's a death to a lot of things. So don't be sleeping on it. Get it done this weekend. And if you don't have a program to get in on and you like the positive mental attitude and you want to have Brandy in your ear all week long, teaching you those course videos, teaching you exam masteries that we have tons of archived on there. If you haven't joined our live sessions throughout the week, if you haven't joined in on the tutoring, if you haven't gotten into all the different things that we offer, scan the QR code, hit the link, become a member. As little as $50, you get all kinds of thousands of hours of stuff, not just on content, but you also get it into those exam masteries where Brandy's showing you how to apply the dang knowledge, bro. You remember going to high school and you were like, when am I going to use this algebra? When am I going to use this geometry? I hear this from my one kid, my beautiful offspring, constantly asking me all the time, bro, why do I gotta learn this geometry? Why do I gotta take calculus? Who uses this in your day to day life? Give me one instant. Look, I don't know about that. All I can tell you is in this instant, you're gonna learn stuff, and then Brandy's gonna show you how to apply it, what you need to know, so that way you can get a pass notice, so that way you can move on and go do the thing you need to go do with these licenses. Because a lot of times, guys, we're just being honest with you, there's a lot of stuff you don't need to learn to get a pass notice. There's a lot of stuff you don't need to know. And Brandy's going to sift through that better than a chat GPT will do. Because let me tell you guys, thousands of passers, thousands of people telling her, exam masteries, showing you how to get through these multiple choice exams. It's just a winning combination. Course videos, live exam, all that great stuff. Books for sale, SIE 66326. all for sale, 65. Kona community on the Discord. If you need some positive mental attitude, you want to ask questions, you want to post up questions, take screenshots of stuff that just don't make dang sense to you, or maybe you get a QBank question that seems a little out there, and you're like, this is one of the things about Chat GPTs. Like you could put that question in the Chat GPT, and it might give you some information that's actually not even tested. To be honest with you, Chat GPTs don't exactly live in the exam world; they live in real world. So the information it gives you, it might be an answer that's not even relevant to the exam. It might be wrong information that you won't see on the exam, right, Brandy?
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to be very careful with that AI stuff. But the number one thing about it is that question might not even be like the questions you see on the exam might not even be that complicated. So there's no point wasting even that time on it. So you could post a question over there and say, Brandy, what do you think about this question? And Brandy might actually just say, dude, it ain't going to be that serious. It's not that deep, as kids say today.
Yes.
It's not that deep.
It's not that deep.
It's not that deep. And you just be like, oh, okay, good. Thank goodness. And you can move on with your day.
Yeah.
So join the Discord. Get on there. 951-290-3077. There's a phone call. Give it a call. Give us a text. Gmail, KonaButterflyz@gmail.com. Send me an email if you're that person. And scan the QR code, hit the links. And we have the Instagram. If you want to see the Kona Hall of Fame and all the pastors, man, we had a lot of pastors this last week. And I can't wait till next week. It's like Christmas every week. All right. What do we got for tomorrow, Brandy? We're back to schedule. Are we back on track?
Yeah.
We got study hall starting off. Start your day off with a study hall with Brandy. Get your quiz out. Just start studying. And remember what I said about those quiz questions? And you run across one? Guess what? Study hall, you can just say, hey, Brandy, I got this question here. While you're taking your own quiz, you ask. And Brandy will just steer you the right way. And then right after that, we got the Kona Exam Mastery, where Brandy's going to do a live quiz, show you how to do that live. Because we do questions on here, but they're not live quizzes.
No.
But Brandy's going to open up a live quiz like she was you
Yep.
and then blow through those quiz questions and just show you how she does it her way.
Yep.
And that way you can do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you want? Don't you want to be somebody who's taking the SIE and just go ahead and knock out, like, what is it, 85 questions in 9 minutes? Brandy will show you how to do that. 26 live right after that. That is exam specific. It is not a class like we're going to go to chapter 3. It is more like we are going to pick a topic and then I'm going to show you how they quiz on it. Or possibly the exam will be like these kinds of questions or how they possibly will be applying this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you are going to learn all the techniques around it so that way you can get past those areas and really zero in on getting that exam done.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. That's what we got for tomorrow. Let's get to it. Let's do the Serious Six. Let's get to it, Brandy. We're going to go through 6 different questions right now from 6 different exams. We are going to use a little bit of content, a little bit of techniques. We're going to show you how Brandy gets through these questions. You guys want to really learn how to master these exams. This is a little taste. If you haven't joined us in our membership, this is a little taste of what you will get tomorrow in the exam mastery, except Brandy will go in more. So like if you're watching this and you're like, dude, explain how you did that. Wow, how did you do that? Can I do that? I want to know. No, guys, that's when you join the membership and you get into that and you learn in depth how she does that. So we're gonna give you a little taste of this. But you can learn from these.
Yeah.
And then we want you to go ahead and go do that yourself. Start investing in yourself. Start learning how to do this and go break open a quiz and start mastering the exam mastery stuff that we teach here. All right, let's go through those 6 questions, Brandy.
Let's do it.
As we do on every Kona, answers first.
Exactly. And so guys, like I'm going to give you guys an example of what I mean by keywords and how to look at this content a little differently, right? We learn so it says prime rate, federal funds rate, discount rate, broker call loan rate. But I teach it in, not that I teach it in a certain way and you have to have it memorized this way, but I do kind of, it's like song lyrics, right? If you put it in the right order of how it's always seen when you're studying, it kind of helps with the memorization, right? So
This is how we do it.
exactly. So we start with discount rate. Discount rate is fed to bank. Yeah, that means I'm starting with C. Not a big deal. Federal funds rate is bank to bank. Prime rate is bank to corporation.
That's the cream of the crop. The prime.
Exactly. And broker call loan rate is bank to broker dealer. Okay.
If you don't have that on your cheat sheet, you don't have that on your 3x5, you don't have those associations met, you're getting some free content right here. This is how we teach it. Keyword, this is what we need to know about those things so we can get a right answer. So great screenshot later when you're watching this on the replay. Thank you to all the people on the YouTube. Or if you're watching this live, write it down.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so that's all I'm going to do. From and to. Which of the following interest rates do large money center commercial banks charge there? So, to their most creditworthy corporations. Bank, not Fed, corporation, A. Boom, boom.
Key words in the question led to this answer: bank, corp, match.
That's it. Banks to corporate, bank to corporation.
See why it helps to memorize what those things are associated with?
And that's why I went out of order, because
There you
that's
go.
how we, or that's the order we do it on repeat.
There you go.
Like if you guys do make your own flashcards, you have it written in a certain way, and that's how you're kind of memorizing it. Be okay with doing that in your answer choices. Do it in the order you know it instead of forcing the order that they have on the screen.
Just like they taught you in 5th grade.
Exactly. All right. Low dissolution priority, limited liability, capital gains via increases in share prices, income potential via the receipt of dividends. Like, who talks like that? I mean, I know that that's like legit, like proper English probably somewhere, but like, who talks like that? Exactly. So I kind of don't see like a bam technique out there, right? So I go into the question, right, of characterize benefits except. So I'm looking for the not benefit. Does that make sense? So I'm looking for the not a benefit. And I don't know about you, but A says low priority. Low priority. I don't even know what any of that other stuff kind of means, but I know that being low on the priority list is not a benefit. It's not a good thing.
I mean, think in real life outside of securities. When someone says you're low priority,
Yeah, that's
you're
not a
not on the
good
top of the list.
right. Right.
I mean, it's in the description.
Exactly. Do you guys see how taking out I don't know what any of this means, or I don't know what a not a benefit is, taking it out of securities world and putting it into real world common sense, low priority, not a
And I'm
benefit.
glad you said that. Real world common sense, because you know what? We always have older studiers that are like, like us, haven't studied since the 1900s, and they
Right.
they doubt if they can get this stuff. Look, you have a lot of real world experience. Don't forget it.
Right.
Apply it.
Right.
You can get some layups here.
And just like Michelle put in the chat, there are some times where like a technique isn't like bam in your face in the answer choices until you see the question. And then once you see the question, the dots start connecting.
Right. And
Totally
that's why
fine.
we always read answers first because it helps you read the question with intent.
Exactly. 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 Oof. Oof.
Wow, this seems really complicated, Brandy.
It's a lot. And so I know I could have gone like if this was a Tuesday night, I'm probably going to pick B because there's no number in B. But remember what we said the other night: 1% of the shares outstanding are average weekly volume trading previous. And this is the same thing, right? So the only thing different is this one says 8 weeks and this one says 4 weeks. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have this little saying again, we're going a lot of memorization. This sounds very familiar, like Rule 144.
Right.
And I have the saying that I have 1% over the last 4 weeks, 4 times a year.
Dude, you are getting some serious knowledge out tonight for free.
I am. I am hooking it up tonight.
If you want to know what Rule 144 is, that is an easy, great way to remember it. That is like gold.
Boom.
Some people are going to be watching this on the replay. Say that again, Brandy.
And let's get my study good. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you can get the study guides in
Yeah.
there.
But it's just one of those what's it called, like associations, right? Just so happens that 144 actually has the volume limit in there, kind of built in. At least that's what I saw when I was studying it, and I was like, I'm gonna teach that, and it works
Of course,
every time.
every time.
Yeah, every time. All right. Characteristics of both debt and equity and debt securities only we kind of don't like. Characteristics of neither, and then it says only we don't like. So I either got both or I got none.
Right. I
Makes sense.
like and.
And is
Let's see
always
the
happy.
question.
And is always happy. I'm gonna
If
double.
I had to guess on this without look and I didn't know anything, I would pick A.
Uh, yes, and I'm gonna be real, guys. The two biggest building blocks of all things security is either you own it or you're going to be getting interest. You're either a lender or you own the thing. That's the building blocks of everything in securities. So the fact that C's out there and it says neither,
That's a building block of America.
yeah,
You either own stuff
or yo,
or you owe.
um, I'm really thinking that C's probably not an answer. So I look over here and it says preferred shares, which is the word stock, has, and it's definitely a both.
See, I would have got that just strictly on techniques, just the fact that it had an and.
Right. And we pretty much knew that the answer was a because of that. It's just good to confirm if you're taking your full quizzes or on the exam.
But now you also know why.
Yeah. 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 Okay. They if the shares cannot be sold to the public, they the
Right off the
underwriters.
bat, I'm just going to say this. Right off the bat, B and C are like
Right.
will not and will be.
Right. And then I was looking at this one and I'm like, okay, B says they are going to be buying the securities from the issuer. I'm ignoring that principal thing. And it says will not be at any risk.
Hmm.
Okay. Either answer legit could be viable. Look at the question and it says participants in a firm commitment. Now, I don't know about you, again, going back to taking it out of securities, but if I was in a firm commitment, there's going to be risk because I'm committing, right?
We
And
in this together.
exactly. So we're in this together.
Like
So,
marriages
so I'm going to buy your securities from you.
could be going great or not so great.
Exactly. But
But
we're
there
in
is risk. We're in it together.
together.
Sickness and health and death do us part.
Exactly. But do you guys see what I'm saying? Like we could have got like a lot of us what will happen when we're studying is that we're getting caught up on I don't know what it means to be acting as a principal
Oh, you know what it means.
when nothing has that it doesn't matter to this particular question. And a lot of times you just need one key element.
That's it.
One key element helps you find that link. That's all you need. Boom, done. And that was common sense. Real world.
Exactly. Common sense again, real world.
Yeah. 7 days, 15 days. Decision is irreversible.
Wow.
30 days.
Talk about a firm commitment on that one.
C is definitely different. It's the one that has no numbers. And off the top of my head, I really can't remember what this question was.
And it's finite. It's definite.
Yeah, because it's irreversible.
That's it.
You can't rewind. There's no go back button. And I wish I can remember the question. Let me see. Can I recall the question? No, I really don't know. Oh, it's the annuity thing. So it's the annuity thing. Once you start the taking a withdrawal, you can't change it.
You can't change that.
No, because you annuitized. See, once you annuitize, you're locked.
That one, technique wise, just answered because it's the only one with no numbers, and it was different.
Exactly.
And then Brandy just gave you the content reason.
Annuitize, irreversible.
Two ways that you could have got to this answer correctly.
Yeah, and I'm not lying, guys. I pulled this question not very long ago, and I really couldn't even remember the question.
Do you know why I love Exam Mastery on Friday when you do a live quiz? Because Brandy does that every time. She'll say, "This is how you can answer it with technique. This is how you can answer it with the little bit of content and the keyword."
Yep.
There's
Oh.
two different ways to get to this answer and get it right.
Both ways.
Seemingly sometimes the hardest questions are usually the easiest ones to answer when you have a strategy like that. When you have a technique in your arsenal, it's not that bad. And you all know what I mean when you get to the exam, especially if you're taking Kaplan. I'm not trying to rag on Kaplan here, but it's like most Q banks. They're not like the real exam anyway. But when you take like a Kaplan quiz and you realize all these questions are really short, and then you go take the exam and you look at the exam questions and you're like, oh my Lord, these are like CVS receipts. When does it end? It just goes on and on and on. You're like, no, I am not prepared for this. That is when you have techniques and keywords, and it helps you really narrow it down to what is the question. And you can cut down so much time, and then you get the right answer. And y'all, listen, when you walk out of that exam room with that pass notice, you just walk out of there like George Jefferson. You're moving on up. You just strut out of there. They don't make you go back and show you how you got answer number 30. They don't care that you used the technique or you knew the it doesn't matter. You got it right. It's irreversible. It's done. Just like that last question.
That's right.
It's done. It's irrevocable. It's too late. It's too late. Like my man Sam Brown just got his pass notice and he's like, I know I didn't know anything on that exam and I got a pass notice. He goes, I ran out of there. He's like, shoot, I didn't want them to like change their mind. He's like, man, too late. You already gave me the pass notice. I'm gone. That's how it's like. And that's how you should feel sometimes when you get these pass notices if you're doing it right with the techniques. If you want to know more, join in on that Friday. Tomorrow we have all those member sessions happening. Make sure to take advantage of it if you are a member. Be in those live sessions, be in that live quiz. And if you can't because you're like, Andy, I got a 9 to 5 still, I'm living that 9 to 5 life and I can't be there. That's okay. We record it. Watch that recording on Saturday morning. It'll drop live. So make sure to get that replay on Saturday morning. It'll go out there for the East Coast, West Coast at a nice, reasonable time for y'all. So that way you guys can focus and get that information. All right. Well, we will be back for the Studying Brew on Monday. It is the last of the free for this week, but we will be back next week on Monday for the free. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, everybody, stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. Keep the positive mental attitude. PMA, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you all so much for being on. We so super appreciate you. Practice these techniques in your quizzes. We will see you guys next time. Have a great one.